is, new generation. So how do you tell them you put the old guy on instead of the young ones?
They are a new generation. I think I was working at the city when a couple of them were born.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. Everybody has their ideas. I've been around the city government. I know how how it operates. I see stuff going on at meetings that I shake my head sometimes. I'm going, hey, this was tried. Or this is crazy answers type thing.
Right.
And I'll come in with, hate to use the words guns a-blazing, but there's got to be some serious look at budget. People cannot withstand another 7, 8, 9% tax increase next year. They don't have a revenue problem. I believe their problem is just overspending.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know as a city resident, long time, it isn't that I can't afford an 8% city tax increase in and of itself, but everybody else is hammering it. National Grid is like doing a number on all of us, plus everything else that goes, food prices and all of that, and whatever's causing it, the confluence of it all is what's hurting people.
They had, I think it was 3% on the water rate this year, in addition to the 7, 8, whatever the actual final number was. If they go through with this deal with the water plant, that's just going to kick the water rates up.
Well, they got to get rid of that tiered system of water sales. We got rid of one of the tiers when Smith and I were in. But what they do is they raise it 3%, but the disparity between what the single homeowner is and the hospitals basically type clients.
The big users.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we got a call already. You're popular. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Nope.
Nobody there.
Nobody there. They didn't want to talk to you after all. Well, we got a whole bunch of topics. Things that have come up on the previous shows with Velasquez and Mr. Osborne. Mr. Velasquez raised the issue of he would support enacting a local law that would set a referendum in November of 26th on converting to mayoral government with a transition to occur in the 27 election. Do you support that going to referendum?
If there goes to referendum and the people so choose to go to a strong mayor form of government, that's what the people want. If they want it, they vote for it. If they don't, then they keep going where they have been. So last 100 years, probably been a manager form since the 20s. Because to get a referendum, charter commissions are generally a rigged deck. You can do it through a local law. Would you support passage of that law? I have to look at the whole thing and see the pros and the cons. But if it looks like it's not a bad deal, just give the people the choice to do it. Okay. And if they vote for it, so be it. And what about this residency thing that came up? It came up with Mr. Wagoner, the manager, but it isn't. I remember years ago, it was you and Gene Hayes and Macaulay was the treasurer and, all these people. Pillen was when I went to work at the city, I think every department head lived in the city and mid-level pretty much management lived within the city limits. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was a requirement. When I applied for the job, there was a couple people who lived outside, and I don't know if hopefully I just didn't get it because I lived here. Hopefully I got out of my merits. But, I think there should be some type of residence for the people who are running the show. But what about in the case of Mr. Wagoner, when they hired him, the city and him, he signed a contract. Right. That contract was breached. And it was actually not apparently valid anyway because it violated the public officers law. So there is no contract now. Correct. But do you think that he was told, because I don't think he's a bad guy or anything, but do you think he was told, don't worry about it, we'll just push it off and they won't say anything? I really don't. I've been listening to you and is it possible? That's a good thing to do. Yeah. Is it possible that was said that way? If you didn't, because who really would think a 65-year-old man with a family in a beautiful home in Chameau is going to want to move on a dime? Most people wouldn't do it. No, most people wouldn't want to do it. And if you didn't care, don't put it in this contract. But it does violate public officers law, along with some other people working in the city. And having been on school boards, I'm a little familiar with public officer law. Mm-hmm. Well, what about the other people? You got a city engineer who lives the other side of Lowville. I don't know where the DPW guy lives. Hey, Brownville, Dexter, down that way. Yeah.
You got a fire chief in Lafargeville, purchasing officer in Redwood. I don't even know where the police chief lives. Do you know? Don't know.
Maybe Adams. I'd heard one time. I'm not positive exactly where he does live.
Yeah, they all probably got cars to take home too.
They do.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems on the surface, and I know this has developed over time, but nobody seems to want to speak up. They keep saying, whenever you raise the issue, they say, well, Eric's a nice guy, or something like that. And that's not the issue of whether he's a nice guy or not.
I think he does a good job as the manager, okay? I look back and people have been made to move into the city. Mrs. Corbo, before she was manager, was moved from the Theresa area, I believe, into Watertown. Fire chief, former Chief Herman, he had to move into the water.
Marlene Norfolk.
Mrs. Norfolk, who was the assessor.
Yeah.
I think the assessor should be in the city.
Oh, our assessor now lives in Clayton.
I think the person should, if you're assessing property you should be living where you're doing the assessments.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a better handle on what's going on.
Okay. So, well, how much would you push it? I mean, it's tough because you got all this in place, but somebody's got to be the hard ass on this.
Yeah, but I don't know that you,
in this council,
I don't really think you get rid of the people who are presently there that aren't under quote contract. The department heads serve at the pleasure of the manager. Mm-hmm. And the manager serves at the pleasure of the council. So these people were allowed to do this, but going forward, you put a big push on. When I always tried at Public Works when I was doing hiring was to look for people who lived in the city. Mm-hmm. They're easier to get them in for snow plowing or any other kind of emergency type situation. Now, when I first went there, very few lived outside the city, and it's sort of gradually, I'm not sure the numbers, city versus non-city resident presently, but it's always
shocking.
No,
11 of 14 department heads.
Oh, I'm talking about the labor class of Public Works. But I was always, when Jerry Hiller was city manager, he always, and you might have been mayor that you were during one of his terms, or one of your terms, there was a big thing kind of came down unofficial, but hey, if you get people from the city hired if you can.
Okay.